Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to uh, explain what is the hackathon about. The problem statement is building a multi-agent productivity assistant. Uh, Build a multi-agent system that helps users manage tasks, schedule, and information by interacting with multiple tools and data sources. So this is the problem statement. Just we deep dive into how it's been implemented actually. So just to go through, this is the PowerPoint presentation. Uh, what the current solution does is we have a coordinator agent which takes an input a natural language query to interact real time with the Google Workspace actually. Which Google Workspace, it includes all the things like Drive, email, and calendar, everything actually. So through an MCP server. So we have implemented an MCP server and a personal AI assistant. Both are deployed in the cloud run. So this is how the main architecture. The user enters its query and it is routed to a coordinator agent. The coordinator agent, again, it goes to a workspace agent. The workspace agent is connected via a workspace MCP, which in turn that MCP has an access to Google APIs. This is the overall architecture diagram, how we are getting real exposure to the tools of calendar, Gmail, and Drive actually. So what is the differentiation? The differentiation is this is MCP server real boundary, and we have a live access to all the Google Workspace actually. So the specific agent, the workspace agent, takes care of coordinating all the stuff, and then the MCP server, one single server to coordinate with multiple of Google Workspace actually. That's the differentiation. And the features, as we explained, these are the features. And the workflow, like user inputs, the coordinator agent classifies the intent. Let's say whether it has to transfer the call to a workspace agent. The workspace agent, so this use case is about explaining the use case like what's my calendar this week actually, right? So the workspace agent choose calendar list events are equivalent and date range, calls the MCP, and resolves the user ID, loads refresh access token. So in case the user is not accessed, there is a OAuth to access mechanism. Once the access is ready, then the returns JSON to MCP, and the LLM will summarize the JSON data into natural language for user to communicate actually. So this is how the entire flow works. Yeah, this is a detail of the architecture diagram and what technologies and Google services used in the solution. So we have used Google Gemini. So we have a unique model of what makes a difference. Also, like fallback mechanism start with three Google 3, and in case there are some issues like a 429 error code quota related, it automatically falls back to Google 2.5. Like those mechanisms, and Google ADK we are using it, and we have MCP developed using a fast MCP stuff, and we have deployed this in a cloud run, which can actually scale automatically, both MCP server in a different cloud run and another the personal AI assistant in a different server actually. Cloud Firestore is an optional thing currently not implemented, but it can be scaled actually. That's the pretty much, and this is the snapshots. So I can just go live to explain this. So this is the repo of the personal AI system deployed in the cloud run, and this is the live session actually. So we started from asking, "I'm doing well. How are you? What is the day today? What can you do for me?" It was currently putting this is the day today, and it said that these are all things that it can do. So general question and answers. And if you need assistance with the Google Workspace, such as checking your calendar, managing your Gmail, or accessing files in your, it can transfer to the workspace agents. Then I asked a question, okay, get me a list of schedule this week. It transferred to the agent, workspace agent, and transferred to the agent, and then it tries to list the calendar list event. But then it was not having an access. So it gave a link to get an access. Once that link is done, I authorized, clicked, and then authorized. Then I just said I have given access. Then again, it checks the auth status. It just said it is a success. After that, it tries to again list the calendar list event. From that, it was able to fetch all the calendar what is there in my calendar actually. So these are things, and the it was able to provide in a more structured way and give what is the data there actually. And then it asked, is there anything else like me to help? Then I said, can you give me the top emails? So it has given me top emails. And then I've asked few things like, can you summarize emails related to AI? So it searched my emails and then gave that these are the few things what is there actually. Then summarize these two emails I asked again, and it read again, and then it summarized further, saying what it is actually. And then can you share the notes for me? Then it gave a suggestion to store the data in a Google Drive. So then it said a Google Doc actually as a recommendation. And then again I asked the question, do you suggest to put in a Word doc or Excel? It gave like for prioritism, I recommend Google Doc for us to read it and infer the data quickly actually. So then it created a, okay, so it gave me thing, let us create a new folder. I asked it, but it said it cannot create. So it gave me a suggestion where to create it. I created it, and then it was able to drive search my files and then find this particular thing, and then it was able to check this actually, right? So then I just to trick, I just said I had a back to back. It was able to identify it's not related to the drive search file, but it's regarding the calendar create event. It successfully created two events back to back in my calendar. So that's how the complete solution. So how unique is this thing? We are not creating a separate agent to interact Gmail separately. We are not creating a separate agent to interact with the drive separately or the calendar separately. There is one workspace agent which is an MCP abstraction, and the workspace agent via MCP is able to communicate with all the three tools of workspace of Google actually. This is how we can be a real personal assistant for any Google savvy people like me, actually. Yeah, thank you.